But I wonder, do you think that it's possible for Meek to become the sympathetic figure?
I think Meek,
could Drake pile on so much that people are like, okay, lights get home. Like you really
you gotta let up. You do
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, it's.
because do you remember people wanting?
I mean, I would
50 to
say
let
that,
up?
but at the same time, the person that started it, so it can't happen. You started it, so and the way we grew up and come from, and the way the world is, don't start battles.
Yeah, like
that
you want to fist, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But damn, the thing is he like this generation's Ja Rule?
I don't know. See, like what I forgot who I was talking to. I said the best thing to me that can happen for Meek, it would be this: if Joe Buttons got on him and he attacked both at the same time, and he just was able to walk away. It's like if you get beat up by one person, you look bad.
Yeah.
But if two people beat you up and you at least get one good hit on one person, everybody look at you like you a hero.
I thought Joey was gonna come at him.
Right. So if I was him, I'd be goading Joey on. That way I could take on both of them. And I would rather take on both of them. And if I just at least walk away, even if I'm beat up, people be like, yo, nigga was in the ring with Drake and Buttons and walked away. Whereas right now, you alone. You on an island. So that means when Drake hits you, everybody sees Drake hit you. If Joe Button in the ring, it's like, yo, he was looking at Joe. That's why Drake sneaked him. You know what I mean? Like, now you by yourself, dog. You really got to have hand skills or skills, or else you going to look crazy.
And he's looking crazy. And I don't even follow their careers like that, but you can't help from walking around and being on this earth to see what the fuck is going on.
But this is... See, I know a lot of people also, Eric, I think are taking liberties and like extrapolating that, okay, this is something with new generation, new part of the gang that like the singing dude, because he has more money, is taking out
and they
the
focus
street
on money.
dude.
Yeah.
But
they focus on money.
But what's the one out of those two dudes, which dude talks about their money more? Which dude takes photographs of their money more? Which dude has outwardly appearance and accoutrements like rings and chains and bikes and to show you I'm rich? Now you can get into the whole, well, he comes from a poor background, whatever, but
and that does have something to do with it. But
I agree.
He does show off his money,
right? I mean, if anything, Drake is kind of like Eminem. They both wear like sweatsuits and like one gold chain. Like he's very modest for how rich he is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. He dresses very modestly for how rich he is.
He can't dress if you ask me, but
yeah,
to a person that's in the gear, looking fresh.
I agree with you, especially compared to rappers. Like, as far as looking rich, rappers wear all kind of chains and all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah, to look rich. His shit don't never look. I be like, wow.
Yeah, see, I don't. Meek, I don't.
No stylish in his camp.
The Meek thing is like a loss for words. I mean, I think this may be the second or third week straight we talked about Meek.
And I'm just like, and each week I'm like, yo, you still could come out.
Yeah.
Meek, where you at?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm gonna change the subject. Cause we it's like I want to ask you a question. Did you see that video of that cop in Kentucky that handcuffed that child?
No, but today
it was a video on
Candace
CNN
put it on Facebook,
and I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, she asked because she was like, "Yo, is that legal?" Like, I was like, "Well, if your child,"
I thought it was illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
But and someone posed a question, and they were saying, "Well, should all children be in the same classroom?"
That's what she said. Candace asked me that, and I was like, "Well, she." Answered it honestly. I was like, well, if you're rich, no. If you're poor, yeah. Because remember, everybody has a right to public education.
And I believe the child suffered from ADHD.
See that?
And that was like what the school was based around too.
Oh, well.
And they had a cop in the school, but now
that may be different than if there's a school that specializes in dealing with kids who are attention deficit hyperactive disorder, then there might be situations where they could be handcuffed because that might be part of understanding as far as you as a parent. Like, in order for your child's safety and the safety of other children, we gotta do this. But As far as like when we went to Bloomfield,
yeah,
like because you might want to throw books or shit. Like no, they can't like handcuff. No, you gotta get kicked the fuck out.
And the child was too young to be handcuffed on the wrist. He was about 7, so he had him handcuffed on his arms. Because remember, he's too small to get on the wrist. So he had him to the back. And then the thing in the video, he's saying that, you hurting me, but at the same time, the cop's trying to talk to him. And it was just mind-blowing, because I'm like, if I was a father, and I would see my child in that situation suffering, like, I mean, I don't even know if it would be a lawsuit. The lawsuit would probably be against me because of my reaction.
And see, you know what this is? I mean, I can say it, I guess I haven't been in that situation yet, but there's a girl that we both know, and her son school trip was going to the beach, and the teacher told her, like, your son needs a one-on-one chaperone. And she didn't really get into it on Facebook, because people were like, well, why is that? Does everybody else? She's like, no, not everybody else can need that. And they were like, well, there got to be something to it. And, like, I know people do funny stuff, but this is in Bloomfield. Yeah. So I can't say that the Bloomfield system, and there's no way it could be more racist than it was when we were younger. Because they had way more black teachers, the Monson principal. So it has to be at least a little bit less racist. And I don't believe it was very racist when we were there. It was, but it wasn't. It was,
but at the same time, we wasn't even paying attention to it.
Right? No. But it wasn't.
It wasn't like
it wasn't overtly racism. Like there weren't white teachers.
It probably was about the same. You had some that cared for you and some that didn't.
Right. But now I would figure with people like Lamont, who went to school there, being a principal, there should be a lot more caring and understanding and better ways to deal with issues than when we were young and we had Carmen A-Race as our principal, an old Italian guy, got to deal with all these black kids. You know what I mean? And he's not even from Bloomfield. So anyway, I'm thinking, I didn't say this on Facebook, I'm thinking, there got to be some reason why they're telling you that your child needs to have a chaperone or he can't go, because that just sounds like a problem no school wants. Yep. So they got to be saying you're leaving out.
That child did, definitely. That child did something.
And she let on some clues like, my child do nothing that I haven't seen any other kid there do. So now,
because it'll be fucked up if her child is the only black child in that particular class.
He's not.
School.
He's not.
And they said that
he's not, because other people who are black that were on this thread on Facebook chimed in, and they said their kids went there or go there. So, I mean, unless they're black people adopting white kids, you know what I'm saying? Their kids are black. And also, the girl said she used to work at this particular place.
So could they be fucking with her? You know how people have work beef.
But that would have to come from the head. So maybe if the head dislikes you, then, I mean, I guess your kid shouldn't be there if the head person at this place dislikes you that much, but it doesn't sound like something that the head of a daycare will even concern themselves about one kid in one class when they probably have like 5 or 10 classes, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I be concerned? Like, that sounds like something that a teacher would have to deal with or would say, and the principal or whatever gives them the backing, like, if you feel this is best safe for your kids, whatever you feel is safe and it's fair, we got to do it. You can't be like, oh, well, because you're black or because you're white or because you have blue eyes, you need a parent. But you could say your child, the way she framed it anyway, my whole point saying is this. What are you bringing to, how is your kid going to school? Because it's unfair for your kid to be 7 years old, throwing shit, breaking shit, and going crazy, and not be controllable. But then when they find the only way but then they can't kick him out because you can be like, I pay taxes, you got to pay my kid. Yeah. But then if they handcuff him, which I agree, is a bit crazy. But I think I would, my first question, and I probably get some shit for this, my first question would be, what were they doing that you felt this was necessary? Not even an angry way, not like, why'd you do it? It's like, okay, let me know what you're doing, because if you told me that she was taking out fecal matter and rubbing shit all over her body or in the walls,
then it's a difference.
Hell yeah, handcuff my daughter. Get the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
But
it was just crazy that I think the problem was the amount of time that he had the child in the handcuff. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Like if you did it for a second and then, but it has to be some kind of training. You can't just do that. That's my thing.
But see, you know what? And Larry sent me an email. I mean, a meme the other day about how you got to go 7 years of schooling to practice law, but just 6 months to arrest somebody to basically implement the law. To be a policeman, you only need to go to school for basically 6 months.
But the way this country needs jobs and stuff, aren't there actual teachers that should be able to teach these type of children? Whether they're in the same classroom or not, maybe you have two. You have to like diversify and then do different things now.
Part of the problem is nobody wants to pay teachers any money because people don't respect teachers.
And that's crazy.
Right? Nobody wants to pay teachers any money because you see everybody talks about the teachers union. Nobody ever talks about the police union. Police union is the worst union. Police union, they will kill somebody innocent. The police union come out and say, well, my guy did nothing wrong. Yep. What?
And they off.
Yeah. And one of the problems, I mean, I'm a big teacher union supporter, but one of the problems is they keep a lot of old teachers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like most union based on seniority, not necessarily merit. But with teaching, it's not. Teaching is not something where you want people to feel like they gotta worry about their job year to year.
Gotcha.
It's not good for teachers. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know what I mean? Because you want people, especially if you live in a town like Bloomfield. You know what I mean? Where you have the same teachers in 7th to 8th grade. In high school, we have like some. You have some, because you have teachers for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You want teachers that your kids can form relationships with. You don't want freshman year, all of a sudden your sophomore year, you got 20 new teachers. You know what I mean? You want to give teachers that kind of security. That way, they can teach. That way, they can kind of teach kids stuff that may be a little controversial. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to history or health education, sex education. Also, another thing is you want to make sure that shit can stand allegations. If you knew that just making an accusation get a teacher fired, if you knew a teacher gonna give you an F, why not get a fire? Nigga, I would have been accused. Remember Miss Phelan?
Yeah.
Her
name was Miss Phelan.
Yeah, I would have been accused of fucking trying to sexually molest me if I knew you get fired. Because all she does is fail people. You know what I'm saying?
She was a hard teacher.
Oh, she was a hard.
I don't think I made it through her. Like I got out of that somehow, some way.
Dude.
Because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to graduate if I stay in this lady's class.
I remember my brother had her in 11th grade, so I was in 6th grade. I remember my parents, like, that's just the name I remember, Phelan. I remember my parents had to go to school, talk to her. So I remember when I got in her class, I think it was sophomore year, and her name was Phelan. So I didn't think of Phelan, I thought it was Phelan. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, Miss Phelan. And then she got me, she's like, hi, I'm Miss Phelan. I thought,
being an adult now, I would love to go back and talk to some of these teachers and be like, yo, what's your angle, your goal for your students? Like, what are you trying to get out of them? Because
my mother still see Miss Nathan. Remember Miss Nathan?
Yeah.
100 zeros? Yeah, my mother still see her. like what? Like, I guess I could feel the frustration on her because she was an older black lady and she probably was like this generation. Like, imagine how we are with a generation and we don't teach.
Yes.
Imagine having to teach. Imagine kids who you know are smart, like James or like like us, and you see just fucking up. Like, you guys could be so much stuff fucking. And then you see white kids like Justin, Greg Russo. They going to class, they're doing right. None of these white girls are pregnant. You got black girls in junior high pregnant.
And then they've been in that dynamic where they seen the town change and the school change. Because before it was more white than black, and it was even. And by the time we came, I think it changed. The dynamic was changed.
When we were there, it was like 80-85% black when we did. The town was like 60-65% black, but because everybody
we still had a white population.
Yep.
Compared to now.
Oh yeah, because people taking their kids out a lot earlier now. Because you probably have very few Justin Pierre Grossies now. Somebody who's like really white, got money. Yep. You're gonna have white people who have lower income means, who may live in like places like Berry Circle or Rockwell or Wittenberry area, who might not have the economic means. But if you live in the boonies. Very few white people keeping their kids in Bloomfield. Your kids going to Westminster, the Masters. You know what I mean? You moving to Simsbury, they going to Avon. Yeah, you go to Canton.
Prep schools.
Yeah, all that type of shit. So, people give teachers a hard time. Nobody wants to support teachers. It is what it is.
So we coming up on almost a year of Mike Brown.
Yeah, and this fuckhead wants to talk about his family wasn't raised, right?
Yeah, what's his name? Darren
Wilson.
Yeah,
dickhead.
So I think he did an article in the New York Times.
See, this is another thing right here, yo. Anybody who uses this phrase, I like blacks.
Yeah, he said he liked blacks because they made him. What was his quote? I like blacks because they crack me up. Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah, he did.
Sweet.
Yeah. He liked black people because they crack him up.
Quote, I didn't want to work in a white area, Darren Wilson said in